What is up, guys? FeelMercy here, and welcome to my Royal Crossbow versus my Chaotic Crossbow review or item comparison. Now, the Royal Crossbow, first impressions, nowhere near as good as the Chaotic Crossbow. It takes 9 hits on the boss, not successful hits, just 9 attacks on the boss to charge before it becomes remotely effective. The Chaotic Crossbow has incredible accuracy, incredible damage with Diamond Bolts E right from the word go. Now, what I have done is I've been to ARMADYL. Now, this is only true for ARMADYL. I have only tested the Royal Crossbow at ARMADYL in some depth compared to the Chaotic Crossbow. Sorry, I'm moving around on my chair, so you might be able to hear some squeaking. But I've only tested it at ARMADYL, so what I will show you is only true for ARMADYL. But for ARMADYL, the Chaotic Crossbow is the champion still. That will remain, I think, because the Royal Crossbow, although it is somewhat decent at ARMADYL solos, it's not as good as the Chaotic Crossbow. So this is the gear I took to ARMADYL. I took the Pernix body with the full void range with the deflector, so I could obviously use the Pernix body. Archer Ring imbued, Glaven boot, the alerter to maintain or keep some of my bolts, which is always nice, obviously, and it also has +5 range attack bonus, so that helps. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get down to the stats. So the stats of the Royal Crossbow has an attack bonus in ranged of +135, which means it is in fact +15 more than the attack bonus of the Chaotic Crossbow, which does in effect make it more accurate. However, the bolts as well have a range strength of +125. Diamond E bolts, which is what everyone uses at ARMADYL nowadays. No one really uses Ruby bolts E because Diamond bolts E with rigor anyway and void hit higher and more accurate. So the range strength of Diamond bolts E is only 105. So you're looking at these and you think, well, this is more accurate. The bolts are stronger. The attack speed's the same. It's got an amazing, apparently, special attack after 9 hits in a row. Why wouldn't the Royal Crossbow be any better than why wouldn't the Royal Crossbow be better than the Chaotic Crossbow? Well, it's not. It's as simple as that. The Chaotic Crossbow, right from the word go, can hit 500s. The Royal Crossbow, even though the stats of the Royal Bolt say +125 range strength, they'll only hit hundreds. They'll only hit 140 max, pretty much. So the range strength of the Royal Bolts, it is just a number. It's just a higher number than the Diamond E bolts. The real strength actually is in the crossbow and its accuracy, not in the strength of the Royal Bolts themselves. These bolts are about 70 GP each, whereas Diamond Bolts E, if we open up the price checker, quickly does it, are nearly 1.2k each. So that is why there is a price difference. These are dropped in bulk constantly by like grot worms, and you get like 90 to 100 from Queen Black Dragon. So there is shitloads of Royal Bolts being pumped into the game, and Diamond Bolts still maintain their worth because they lower the monster's defense, obviously, which is important, and also they are just really, really accurate compared to Royal Bolts. So the Chaotic Crossbow and the Royal Crossbow, you also have to take into consideration the cost of them. Now, the Chaotic Crossbow is free if you look at it, the fact that it costs 200k Dungeoneering tokens. You do, however, have to repair it, and you can actually leech floors to buy it. So if you judge it on that merit, then the Chaotic Crossbow can actually cost you in the region of about 60 mil, probably from leeching floors, whereas the Royal Crossbow costs 21 mil for me at this time. So the Royal Crossbow costs 21 mil, the Chaotic Crossbow is either free, or if you choose to leech it, could be upwards of 50 mil. Now, the repair costs of the Royal Crossbow, I currently do not know. However, to repair a Chaotic Crossbow, it currently costs 20k tokens and 200k coins, or 2 mil. So, in terms of repair costs, I have no idea what the Royal Crossbow is, but the Chaotic Crossbow is quite costly to repair, and so it should be, because it is the best crossbow in the game still. Now, the Royal Crossbow I would not recommend buying, as you will see in a few clips later on. I've also put the time codes up as well, so you can see how long it takes to kill. Now, bear in mind that all these kills are done on ARMADYL, and it was taken in one trip, and I've only selected a few kills which were relatively flawless in terms of swapping from an Enhanced Excalibur and so on, where I'm attacking them pretty constantly. So that's important to bear in mind, and also it's important to bear in mind that I did have Dreadnips out, and so Dreadnips were obviously a part of that, and so some kills the Dreadnoughts might be attacking a bit better, and some kills the Dreadnoughts might not be hitting as good. So that's important to bear in mind. However, when you see the difference in time and kill speeds in Void, by the way, this is in Void, so if you are thinking about going in just full Armadyl, the kills, I don't know, they may be different. However, in a Void setup with a deflector and a ranged body, these were the kind of kill speeds that I got, and these were the difference in accuracy and so on and so forth. So take a look at the clips that I'm going to show you in a bit. I'm going to be narrating over them as well, so you're going to be able to hear me while I'm discussing, the kill speeds. And hopefully you guys can learn something, and hopefully you guys will steer well clear of the Royal Crossbow if you plan on using it for Armadyl anyway. So yeah, all we can do is get stuck in with the Armadyl kills. Right, as you can see on screen, you have a nice little Armadyl solo going on, and as you can see in the top left-hand corner of your screen, you have a time code. So basically, I'm fluctuating between using the Chaotic Crossbow and the Royal Crossbow. Now, one thing that is important to note is that the Chaotic Crossbow is very, very important on the minions. After you kill Kriara, don't even bother thinking about using a Royal Crossbow on the minions, because it takes 9 hits to be effective, and by that time the Chaotic Crossbow will 5-hit minions. So don't even think about using a Royal Crossbow on the minions. It's just a complete waste of time. You should be using a Chaotic Crossbow at all times on the minions. It is just, frankly, it is a lot faster. So immediately in that respect, the Chaotic Crossbow wins over the Royal Crossbow every day, because you only need to bring one crossbow. You need to bring one crossbow to Mithril Grapple across, you need one crossbow to kill the minions, one crossbow to kill Kriara, and it kills Kriara quicker. So the Royal Crossbow for Armadyl is just a no-go. As you can see, the kill is starting to increase as the kill drags on, obviously, because the potency of the weapon increases the longer the kill goes on. The Chaotic Crossbow just hits insane straight off the bat. So the kill time there was 1 minute 10, which is an extremely long time for an Armadyl kill, especially in Void. So now we're going to be using the Chaotic Crossbow and see how that fares. Now the Chaotic Crossbow, straight off the bat you can see it's hitting insane, and there you just hit a 522. Now that 522 would usually take between 4 to 5 hits with a Royal Crossbow once it's fully charged. However, we've done that in 1 game tick, so it is absolutely incredible how accurate and how hard the Chaotic Crossbow hits with rigor. And to be fair, the Royal Crossbow just isn't anywhere near it. And so if you are thinking about getting a crossbow and you're thinking of getting the Royal Crossbow for Armadyl solos and seeing if it's as effective, and you are planning on using Void, remember this is only in Void. I've not tested it in full Pernix and Divine. If you leave me some likes, I'm sure I can do that. And if you want to leave a comment below requesting, I'm sure I can try out some Armadyl kills in full Pernix and Divine for you and compare the times there. But as you can see, the Chaotic Crossbow, the kill was 52 seconds, which is considerably faster, almost 20 seconds faster than the Royal Crossbow, and I do have an even faster kill for you with a Chaotic Crossbow. Now, I'm not being biased, I have completely chosen the kills at random during the whole trip, and so I've not been biased towards the Chaotic Crossbow. I do have both, so there's no reason for me to be biased. In some ways I was hoping that the Royal Crossbow would be faster, so that I invested 21 mil wisely. However, it looks like I haven't. So now, as you can see on the screen, we are back with the Royal Crossbow. It's starting to hit accurate at the beginning. As you can see, a double 79 there, which, it's pretty decent. And when it gets the 9 hits in, that's when it starts to really kick in and do some damage. However, as you can see, by now, we're still not halfway done with the kill, and we're into 38 seconds on our time code, and it's just not looking good. And for efficiency, you want to be getting the faster kills per hour, because obviously you're going to get drops quicker. And Armadyl is a very slow boss. It is. The kill count takes a while, and if you are thinking of kill count, you can't use a Royal Crossbow for kill count, I'm afraid. It just isn't very good for the minion, or for the Aviances whatsoever. The Chaotic Crossbow is far superior for kill count, for minions, for bossing in general. The Chaotic Crossbow is just better than the Royal Crossbow for Armadyl, full stop. As you can see there, the kill time was 1 minute and 8 seconds, and so you're looking again at it's going to be above 1 minute if you are using a Royal Crossbow, because it needs to have them 9 shots before it starts to do any considerable damage whatsoever. Now, the Chaotic Crossbow, as you can see, paired with the Dreadnips, Armadyl does get dropped very quickly with Void and Rigor with overloads. I mean, I'm using completely the same setup. All I'm doing is swapping the crossbow and the bolts. And remember, the Royal Crossbow, it's supposed to be better in range attack, which it is. And the bolts are supposed to be hitting higher. Well, you know, you can fuck right off because the Diamond E bolts with Chaotic Crossbow is insane. As you can see, my first Dreadnought has died. I'm not even going to bother deploying another Dreadnought because the kill time was 36 seconds. So what I'm going to do is pass myself over to myself again, and we can conclude the video. Well, there you have it. You've seen the clips of ARMADYL and you've seen how they've fared. I think it's clear to say that there is one winner, and that is by far the Chaotic Crossbow. So if you are thinking of getting the Royal Crossbow, and you really can't bear dungeoneering, I would suggest getting the Royal Crossbow. However, if you can bear dungeoneering and it is something that you enjoy, definitely go with the Chaotic Crossbow every day, because you know, them 500s, as much as you might be able to hit rapid 100s, them 500s are just far superior, and you can hit them straight from the word go rather than trying to hit 0, 0, 0 for the first 9 attacks. I would really recommend the Chaotic Crossbow, and I think the only the Royal Crossbow will be dead content very, very soon, unless Jagex were to not nerf it, but improve the stats on it, or improve the effect, maybe up it to, instead of rapid 100s, maybe 200s. I don't know, they just need to do something to have that little extra bit of potency to it, because at the moment it is just not good enough to be considered over something like a Chaotic Crossbow, even a Rune Crossbow. I mean, a Rune Crossbow with Diamond E bolts, with rigor, and this setup, I think it would be, again, the Rune Crossbow would probably be better than the Royal Crossbow, so this will be very, very dead content soon. I'm pretty sure of that. Relating to ARMADYL, once again, I will stress that this is ARMADYL and this is this specific setup. So don't take any of this as considerable fact. I will probably test it with Pernix and Divine and let you guys know what that's like, depending on how well this video is received, and whether you guys have enjoyed what I've done here. You know, just leave your feedback in the comments below. Leave likes if you enjoyed it, and I can kind of gauge whereabouts we're going with this. But yeah, so that's my response on the Royal Crossbow and compared to the Chaotic Crossbow, and hopefully you guys have taken something on board. Hopefully you've learned something. If you have, leave a like. And I've also got to say that I'm coming up right to the kind of main part of my exams now. You know, I'm getting real down to the important stuff at the moment, and so I will be inactive for probably about a week, so this will be the last video for about a week. What I do intend to do is to have a nice, real good video for you guys for when I do come back. Obviously, I want to get videos out for you guys, but my exams are very, very important. Now, this isn't a scapegoat to try and get out of making videos, because I do absolutely love making videos. It's really something I'm really, really passionate about, and you know, the response I've had from you guys really kind of encourages me to do them. However, I do need to focus on my exams, and so I won't be making a video on the channel for about a week or so. It probably might not be as long as a week, but I really do need to knuckle down and focus on getting these exams under my belt and getting the grades that I need to get into to university. So that's the reason for there being a lack of videos for the next week. But I will still be keeping tabs on my channel, so if you're leaving comments, I will be reading them. Obviously, I do read every single comment, and I will reply to comments that obviously offer some questions that need to be answered. And you know, if you want to personal inbox me or something, that will happen. I may be occasionally on RuneScape as well, so if you want to jump into my friends chat, if you don't have to do that already, just go onto the little friend sign and just jump into FeelMercy, and you can just jump into my friends chat and have a nice little talk in there if you want. Anyway, guys, that's enough from me. I shall see you in a week, hopefully, and apart from that, there's not much else left for me to say, really, apart from the fact that I would really highly recommend you get the Chaotic Crossbow over the Royal Crossbow, because, to be frank, the Chaotic Crossbow is just an absolute amazing ranged weapon.